Welcome everyone to yet another episode of Pod on the Apex, where we bring the F1 circus to your screens. And after a 1 week break, we are back with more F1 action. This weekend is going to be round 7 of the F1 Championship for 2025, and it's another triple header, the first leg of a triple header, and we go to Imola, or as it's called, Formula One AWS Grand Premio dell'Emilia
Well,
Romagna
made in Italy.
Autodromo Enzo Ferrari. Almost
It's
got
like
it.
the it's like the Joey Phoebe meme
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Friends when Phoebe is trying to teach him French.
yeah.
It's
Yep.
similar to that. They've made a simple F1 circuit name so complex right
Yeah,
now.
man. Like, just, I don't
But
know,
hmm,
like how you call the Miami Grand Prix, call it Imola Grand Prix, or just go back
yeah,
and
or
call it
San
San
Marino Grand
Marino
Prix.
Grand Prix, something.
Yeah,
Like, I know they can't call it Italy because Formula One doesn't repeat race names in the calendar, but literally call a simpler name. Like, the official F1 hashtag is hashtag Imola GP. So even they know
all
it.
all Grand Prix names should be just the name of the city or name of the country or whatever.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
No sponsorship names before, after,
I
in
mean, the
between.
full name can have it, but keep the short name short.
Yeah,
Like there's no official short name for this.
exactly. But anyway, welcome to another preview pod, and I think we'll just start off with the predictions, right,
Yeah.
Pratyush?
Yes, we will start with predictions for Imola. This weekend is a standard weekend. 3 practice sessions, quali race, uh, not a sprint weekend. So yeah, we can. Yeah, and we just got done with free practice 1 and 2, and it's largely been a McLaren day, isn't it, Aniket? I mean, sure, we saw red flag from Isaac Hadjar, I think,
Yep.
but apart from that, yeah, it's been McLaren total domination.
So FP1 was still a little close, I feel, between 4-5 drivers, although McLaren did have a 1-2.
Yeah,
But FP2, they kind of totally dominated it, and the way the pattern has been throughout the season, it does seem headed to another race where McLaren will dominate the field.
yeah,
The only thing that we are still missing right now is a proper head-to-head duel between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. We just
yes,
keep saying before every race we get it this race, let's get it this race, let's get it this race, but let's actually hope we get it this race since we previewed Imola from 1989 in our last history on the Apex shot, which everyone definitely has to go and check out.
exactly.
And we hope McLaren with two different drivers this time kick off the championship battle in Imola again.
Yeah, and
And
remember the 1989 Grand Prix had two McLaren drivers fighting at the front.
exactly. And that's where their championship battle kicked off.
Yeah,
So let's hope these two have their championship battle kicking off here.
yeah.
And if we, directly jump into qualifying, I don't think you can have any two drivers on fighting for pole apart from the McLaren drivers, right?
Which one are you keeping ahead though?
That's always the important. That's the important question now.
Yes.
We're like back to 2014, 15, 16 when it was Rosberg, Hamilton every
Yep.
time.
Yeah.
And I'll give the edge to Oscar because he's topped FP1 and FP2.
Hmm.
Although it's been the finest of margins, but
Yeah, very very close between the two
he's
drivers.
the one. He's a McLaren in form. He's been with the winner of the last 3 races now on the bounce,
Yep.
and I'll give it to Oscar just because the recent form is good,
Okay.
and Lando as second, and my P3 I will have Max Verstappen.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. I mean, yes, he was P5 in FP2, and wow,
I
where
think
was he in
he might
FP1
have a
or
little more
P7?
energy considering he's a father now.
Or is he more tired because he's a new father? I mean, yeah,
I
the
think
baby, the baby's probably keeping up all night, not letting him
yeah,
race.
he would want to do well, for probably the first race with a newborn baby. So maybe the incentive to do well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we know Max has a lot of he carries a lot of things with him in terms of motivation, and probably this could be another one.
I mean, technically, I think the last race was his first as.
Uh,
But yeah, I get your point. I mean, But yeah, I mean, he was, I think, complaining in the media interviews about Red Bull's car still being a bit far off from McLaren. Yeah, I mean, I agree that McLaren is way too dominant. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, to your point about, FP1 being close, yeah, I just wanted to fill in the viewers that free practice one, the top five drivers were covered by less than a tenth.
Yeah.
And P6, that was Pierre Gasly, was just a tenth and a half behind. So, yeah, very, very close. And yeah, what is this? Five different teams in the top six. So, we hope it's going to be a close qualifying, isn't it? But
I think
yeah,
FP1 was more about getting the tires in and
right.
you know setting up your car and stuff, and that's the reason why we saw so
Hmm.
many teams close. But when FP2 came around, and McLaren had obviously the pace, they
Yeah.
showed that
And
and
again, we
jumped
did
ahead of
see
everyone.
even in both FP1 and FP2, the two McLaren boys were very, very close to each other.
Yeah,
300s in the first session, 200s in the second session. Um, yeah,
super close out there.
yeah, very, very close. And yeah, I think I will go with I'll go with Lando for pole. I think
He's
Lando.
due a pole, right? It's been a while.
Yeah, he's due a pole. I think Lando has a point to prove to show that he's the number one boy. So I think Lando will. I think Lando has it this weekend. I'm gunning for Lando because I've been
Okay.
gunning for Oscar a lot these past few weekends, but I
Yeah.
think it's Lando's turn. Come on, Lando.
So Oscar's P2 and who's P3 for you?
Um, I honestly don't know. I'm going to go the wild take, Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
'Cause
I mean, I'm all prepared for a Ferrari P7, P8.
I mean, he was P5 in FP1 and
Yeah.
less than a tenth behind
And
Oscar.
he was complaining, and both of them were complaining all session about brakes. I mean, in both
Yeah,
the
yeah.
session, especially Lewis.
But as I say that, he was P11 in FP2.
Yeah.
Six and a half, 6.5 tenths behind Oscar. Uh,
You still want to keep that prediction?
uh yeah, I think realistically, I'm going to go with George, honestly.
Okay. Safe option.
Yeah. He's in P4 in both the sessions, but the P3 has been different. I think, George,
Yeah.
the P3 doesn't show up, he's going to be there.
Yeah.
And the Mercedes is looking good as well. So, yeah,
Mercedes this season has been very good.
all the Lewis Hamilton experiments paid off. Eh?
Yeah, finally did. And what's your like hot take from Collie?
Hot take from Quali. My hot take from Quali is that Fernando Alonso goes to Q3.
Okay. We've not seen him in Q3, I think, this entire season.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. My hot take is Pierre Gasly finishes in the top five in quali.
Oh, that
That could
that
happen.
that could happen. He was P6 and P3 today. So, yeah,
Yes.
that's a very good shout.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let's talk about the race. Who do you think is winning? I know you predicted Oscar pole. So, do you think Oscar is winning from pole?
I'm hoping we get a repeat of McLaren from 1989, and
Well,
Senna
there's
was
no
on
gentleman.
P2.
There's no gentleman's agreement this time.
I know, but Senna was on P2 and he won the race. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm going with Lando from P2 winning the race.
Okay.
So I want to see a duel. I want to see it come to life
Yeah.
after so much of talk on our podcast and many other shows.
Right.
And let's hope we get some kind of action. Let's hope Lando doesn't mess it up for once, hope in qualifying or in the race.
Yeah.
And I'm going for Lando P1, Oscar P2, and
Okay.
George P3.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, George. Yeah, that's George will be there.
I think a safety car and George. We have this famous meme. Does nothing, gets P3.
Man, I'm telling you, at some point this season, if the McLaren rivalry heats up, George Russell will do nothing and win a race.
Exactly. He already did that, right?
I,
He didn't win a race, but he finished P2 in quali in Belgium 2021, And then
Oh
the
yeah, that
race
is in the
never got
Williams.
started and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
got P2.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. Williams talks about, they kind of bet on the fact that the race will not happen because it was raining so heavily. And
Yeah,
they tuned the car completely very, very aggressively for qualifying. And that had good straight line speed. Remember the Williams? It
he
had
did, he
amazing
did.
straight line
Another
speed.
reason he had P2.
Yeah, so Spa is obviously a very fast track. He got P2 and then the race got cancelled. And he got half points as well. That's the story of George Russell.
And that's how he became lucky from that day.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Lando winning from pole. I know it's a meme to hate on Lando starts, and certainly has not been the best at starting from pole. But I think we saw towards the end of last season he I think he did win one or two races from pole. He seemed to have
Yeah.
beaten those you know P1 demons. So I think Lando will from pole. Again, the two McLarens are very, very close, especially this weekend. I mean, there's barely anything separating those
Yeah.
two cars. So what I hope is, yeah, like you said, I hope we get some great racing action at the front, and I hope McLaren doesn't screw up the strategy for these two drivers, because McLaren tends to do that, right?
Yeah.
They'll mess up one driver or both
They tend to
drivers.
do that when they're under pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Did we see this? I think earlier this season as well.
We just saw it as recent as what, Japan or something? Japan, yeah, Japan.
Yeah, yeah,
Japan,
exactly.
when they had two versus one and they messed up, they pitted like both at almost at the same
Yeah,
time.
and
So,
Max kind of took advantage and
yeah,
won the race, right? So yeah, I hope McLaren is a little more daring with the strategy. They're more
if
like
required.
exactly, yeah. They're more like, say, the 2023 Red Bull, or the late 2010s Mercedes, and not like Ferrari of any year. Yeah. So who's your P3? George? Oh, wait, okay. Is your
George,
P1
George.
P2 McLaren?
Yeah, P1, P2 is McLaren.
So and your P3 is George?
I believe that even if Lando messes up quali and starts like P5, P6, he'll just zoom past everyone and
Yeah, that
finish
car is
P3.
way too fast. Yeah.
Too fast, yeah.
Yeah.
So George is P3 because of how well he's been doing, and he does nothing and gets P3 anyway. But and also one cool story from this first first day of the F1 race week was Kimi Antonelli getting all of his schoolmates to come
Yep.
and watch him, I don't know, train or basically just in the garage or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
I
was
think they're
very
going to
cool.
attend the whole weekend.
Imagine having a friend like that.
Yeah, man.
I know, VIP passes and whatnot.
One day he asks you your homework, the next day he takes you to an F1
Yeah,
race.
I mean the race. I mean he's got a triple header. I don't know how he's gonna manage school though.
Yeah, I think
It's
I
like that.
think he'll get
The
the most
Rajasthan Royals
leniency.
batsman Abhishek.
Oh
Not
yeah,
Abhishek. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Weber.
Vaibhav Suryavanshi. 14 years
14
old. Like
years old, man. That's insane.
that is even more insane. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think you should talk about your P3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Max.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all know in race settings Max does tend to get the best out of the car. I think it'll be close between him and George, I think, for P3,
Yeah.
because they were also very close in FP2. So I
FP2.
think
And this could be a precursor to who's gonna compete for P3 in the championship. I feel between
yeah,
Max and George. It does seem like that.
yeah. So I think Max P3 with but heavy competition from George. So I guess it'll be a toss up.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Who's your bust of the race?
Mm, I think Franco Colapinto. I know it's his first race weekend, but I think I think Jack Doohan was kind of unfairly treated when you think about it. So I feel unfortunately Franco he is out in probably Q3 and sorry Q1,
Yeah.
and he probably finishes like 15th or something.
You know what? You may have a point there. If you look at FP1 and FP2,
Yeah, I
in
mean see, we have to give him some benefit of doubt because it's his first race.
first race, new car and all that, but I
Yeah,
think
but
you might be onto something. I mean,
yeah,
even keeping all those in mind, because FP1 Colapinto was half a second behind Gasly,
yeah,
and FP2 he was, wow, where is he? Yeah, another half a second behind Gasly. So he's been half a second off the pace.
hmm. And half a second is about like 8 places or something.
Yeah. Oh, more than that today. I think, yeah, I mean, 10 places in FP2 and 11
Hmm.
places in FP1. So,
Hmm.
yeah, we might even see him crash. Who knows? New car. If he's
Yeah.
like, if he like qualifies P15, P16, he's fully crowded. He makes one wrong turn into Tosa, takes out 3 cars, man.
But let's hope he has a good race. We don't want
Yeah.
him to. We love his excitement. We love the excitement he gets into F1.
Yeah,
So
he's definitely a fast driver,
yeah.
but yeah, I think my bust of the race, and I don't know, I'm not going with Franco, but this is probably too easy. But I'm going to go with Liam Lawson.
Our what do you say? Our regular bust
Regular
nowadays.
bust, yeah.
Regular bust.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
like a segment where Liam Lawson is regularly featured for the wrong reasons.
yep. Actually, Haas might also
Does
be a
Liam
good
Lawson
candidate
have a
for bust.
career
They're
in
doing
F1 after
terribly.
the season?
Sorry.
Does Liam Lawson have a career in F1 after the season?
Yeah, he has
He's
to improve,
performing the way
man.
he
Like,
is.
I mean, to be fair, I think he got a very unfair deal. I
Yeah.
mean, he raced what, a few races last season and the season before, and then he gets thrust into Red Bull Racing in that difficult car next to Max Verstappen. One of the 3, 4 greatest drivers of all time, with the car so heavily customized to him.
Hmm.
And then he gets 2 races, doesn't even get a chance to adjust, gets kicked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only reason he has a drive is because Red Bull has a B team. Otherwise, he'll be gone
Yeah.
from F1 by now.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll see. But I think Liam, I think he'll probably needs a few more races. I mean, the kid's mental state is probably also shot completely.
Hmm.
Right, demoted
Yeah.
in 2 races.
I mean, he's got 3 races on the bounce now, so we'll see how he does. Three
Yeah,
different kinds of tracks also.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he kind of comes back because that Racing Bulls is a good car. I mean, you see Isaac Hadger, he was in the he was seventh, and I think
He crashed in FP2.
FP1 he crashed. But yeah, if he's in the
FP2 he
top
crashed.
10 and your teammate is not even in, he's like 15th, then yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
car issue.
Yeah.
But I think Haas is also going to be another bust of this race. They did terribly in both the free practice
Mm-hmm.
sessions. So I think Haas is probably going to have a bad weekend as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And let's keep our eyes on Alpine versus Williams because that could be an interesting
yes,
battle. Now that
yeah. I
Alpine
mean
has suddenly
Alpine.
repented.
Alpine, to be fair, shout. They done really well, didn't they? They're doing
I'm only
very.
surprised if Pierre Gasly qualifies ahead of the one of the Ferraris tomorrow. It could happen.
Yeah, that's not even a hot take anymore.
That would be embarrassing for Ferrari on their home circuit. I mean, not home, but technically home
I
also.
mean, it is their home. Maranello is like half an
Yeah,
hour from Imola. The track is named after the
embarrassing
founder.
the way the performances they're having.
Yeah.
It should
And the
be
track
stopped.
is named after the founder. It's the Enzo Ferrari
Yeah,
circuit.
exactly. I mean, you would probably call Monza more of their home than Imola, but yeah, I understand why Imola is more of their home
I
with the
think
track
Monza is
being named.
called their home because that is the Italian Grand Prix, and this has been
Yes.
the San Marino Grand Prix and whatever nonsense name we have now. But yeah, I mean, it's bang in near Maranello. So
Yeah. Let's see what they have for tomorrow. But
okay,
not much hopes on Ferrari tomorrow.
let me ask you this: if you rank the teams by pace this weekend, where do you think Ferrari will be?
I mean, at this moment, they're like fifth fastest, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull. I mean, I don't know. Verstappen you can count because the other Red Bull is not doing well. So Verstappen,
I mean,
then
they were fifth fastest in FP2 behind McLaren, Alpine, Mercedes, and Red Bull.
Yuki was still outside the top 10, right?
No, Yuki was eighth. I mean, Charles was
Okay.
sixth, but Max was fifth.
Yeah.
So
And they're behind Alpine also suddenly. Gasly
yeah,
also doing well. And
exactly.
Williams, Carlos is also doing
And
well.
then Lewis was behind Williams and Racing Bulls as a bonus.
Yes. So I don't know. They might be somewhere between fifth to seventh, I guess, this weekend. At least in qualifying. In the race, they might still end up finishing their usual P7, P8. So
It's like
that's fine.
early last year Mercedes, right? P5, P6, P6, P7. Let
It's
me
like
let me
Lewis
ask
is
you this: are both the Ferraris making it to Q3?
no.
Wow.
I think one drops out, and I feel it's Lewis for some reason. I think Lewis finishes 11th or something.
I think to be fair, it can be either Ferrari because FP1, Lewis did well, Charles did horrible, and it was
Hmm.
switched up in FP2. So I think at this point it can be anyone.
Yeah, it's sad.
But also, I think Leclerc was having some. He was sick a bit in the morning. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
saying.
he had some helmet issues and all also, I guess.
Yeah, he was holding his helmet. Like,
Yeah, he
what is
was
happening at
holding it.
Ferrari, man?
Yeah. Can't get a helmet, man. Can't get a
Like,
helmet
are
put
we
on.
going to see next? Are we going to see next race Lewis holding the tire when driving,
Yeah, insane.
or the steering just pops out when trying to take a turn?
Fred Vasseur is not the messiah who I thought he was.
Oh man, yeah. Wow, man. Ferrari, man, always finds the worst possible way to screw
I
things
know.
up. Um,
Just one damn win in the sprint this entire season and 7 races in.
yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, I think that's it for predictions.
Yep.
Yeah, I think apart from that, Imola, yeah, as we said before, it's going to be the first race of Franco Colapinto. Uh, a 5 race contract. Isn't that what Alpine said? And today, Briatore contradicted that, saying it's not a 5 race contract. Which begs the question, Aniket, who's in charge at Alpine?
Yeah, definitely not Flavio because Jack Doohan is represented by Flavio. So I have no idea who's in
But also,
charge.
Flavio was instrumental in signing
Colapinto.
Colapinto by all
Yeah.
reports, right?
I mean, they're still doing well regardless of who. I mean, at least Pierre Gasly is getting the results as
Yeah,
of now,
yeah.
regardless of who's in charge. And they're getting Mercedes engines next year, which will make their life a little more better.
Hmm.
So, I really don't know who's in charge. I don't think it's Flavio, but I think it's whoever else at the top right now.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
won't be
mean, Oliver
surprised even
Oaks
if
was the
Alpine
one
doesn't know
who.
who's in charge.
Oliver Oaks recently departed, right? He was the team principal.
Yes, yes.
Who has replaced him though? Did we get news on that?
I think there was some interim. Let me quickly check. Yeah. No, I think they said Flavio will take over.
Oh, they really said Fabio will take over, is it?
I mean, not officially, but
Okay.
basically, kind of thing. Like
Okay.
de facto team principal. So, okay, Wikipedia is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's stealing Alpine really well here. So it says, what is this? Dave Greenwood is the de jure team principal, but Flavio Briatore is the de facto team principal. That is first class trolling on Wikipedia. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much accurate. Oh, he was appointed just yesterday.
Oh wow.
Dave Greenwood. Yeah. So it was. Yeah, that's why I remember Flavio, because in the announcement it said Flavio will take over in the interim. That's what I was remembering. So I didn't see this news from yesterday that Dave Greenwood has been appointed.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, okay. So apparently, yeah. Wow. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how much Dave Greenwood and Briotto, if they see eye to eye or not.
Yep.
But yeah, Alpine said that Briotto, I mean, just last week they say he's going to be interim team principal, or going to fulfill those duties or whatever. And yesterday, after they announced, not yesterday, I mean more like today, after they announced that Dave Greenwood is going to be the team principal, Alpine said that Briatore remains a consultant and advisor.
So you always want to have the footprints over or imprints on any kind of deal that's going to take place.
Yeah. And apparently, the the speculation is that Greenwood was officially appointed because teams need a team principal
Yeah,
with the FIA. Otherwise, the team can be barred from participating.
yeah.
And I think Briatore officially cannot be a team principal still because of Crashgate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably why Alpine has been
Okay.
downplaying him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But what do you think? Do you agree with whoever trolled
I
Alpine
mean,
on Wikipedia that he's de
Flavio
facto?
definitely has a say because of his experience and what he brings to the table. So no
Yeah.
matter who it is, as long as Flavio is there, he's definitely having a say.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even Franco Colapinto has denied the fire race plan, and I don't understand. Okay, Aniket, can you make sense of this? So last week, when Alpine announced that Franco Colapinto will replace Jack 2, and we even shared a video because we speculated that because it's so widely rumored when we did what Miami review, right?
Yeah.
So we did share that video with a kind of opening slide saying Colapinto will race for the next 5 races. And this was what official Alpine said. And you can even see it even now on the Alpine website, Franco Colapinto to drive next 5 races. It's on the Alpine website even now. It's not been deleted. And today, both Franco Colapinto and Fabio Briatore gave statements saying, what 5 races? We don't have any 5 race limitation.
I don't know what's going on, man. We'll see after 5 races, I guess. I mean, we can probably do a verdict after 2 or 3 races when Franco is probably set in and
Yeah,
he gets his. I think the triple header is a good chance for him. It's a good start for him, right? You get 3 races on the bounce now for you to make sure you're
yeah.
fully integrated into the team
Hmm.
and 3 different tracks. So I think this is like a good start for him to initiate that progress with Alpine,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes. We'll look at the triple header and we probably can assess and then discuss on Colapinto again on the fourth race. But I'm definitely sure that Alpine do not want to keep replacing drivers every 5 races.
No,
So
I agree, but I mean, I'm just saying what the press release said. It clearly
yeah.
said call up into drive for next 5 races, and look at this.
I think I think it's because I think they don't want the backlash if they just write Colapinto is going to drive for the entire season or something. So they
Agreed,
want
but put out a statement. Why is Colapinto and Briatore just giving random interviews saying that's not what we said? When your
to yeah.
website literally says that. Look at this. There's a quote from Fabio Briatore on the Alpine F1 website. Quote, having reviewed the opening races of the season, we have come to the decision to put Franco in the car alongside Pierre for the next 5 races. And Franco Colapinto, quote, firstly, I want to thank the team for giving me the opportunity to drive competitively for the next 5 races. Like they said it. It's not us saying this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Chris Medland, putting out some paddock gossip saying Colapinto will drive for 5 races. This is Alpine. How dysfunctional can a team get? Alpine is like, yes.
Still getting better results than Ferrari though. At least in practice sessions. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
At least
yeah,
in the practice sessions.
yeah. No, I agreed. I mean, like I said, I won't be surprised if Pierre Gasly beats either one or both the Ferraris in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
qualifying, right?
I agree.
And he beat both the Ferraris in FP2 today.
He did.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Alpine is like the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, I think apart from that, we also, yeah, looks like drivers' complaints on the swearing ban finally got to Mohammed Ben Sulayem, and all the speculation of him being challenged for the president got to him because this week the FIA gave a statement, and a very interesting statement from Ben Sulayem, which said, you know, have you seen Ben Sulayem's statements, Aniket? He always says, as a former rally driver, I know
Yeah,
firsthand. Like,
yeah.
dude, stop. We know you're a rally driver.
I know. He keeps saying that.
Yeah. Anyways, the FIA gave a statement that they've kind of loosened the rules. I mean, they're kind of finding solutions for problems they've created. So now they say that during the race, the rules won't be as strict because it's, kind of non-planned or whatever terminologies they use. And during press conferences, they'll be expecting higher standards from the drivers,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was true even before. So I don't know what the problem was. It's not like Max Verstappen's dropping f bombs in press conferences,
Yep.
or Lewis or Sebastian or any of the other drivers. And they also reduce the max fine which they give, um, but apparently criticizing officials will get you sporting penalties. Like the thin skin remains for MBS. Like what next? Is he going to ban our pod because I criticize MBS now?
I wish he gets to listen to the spot somehow. Then he might probably undo everything he's done. We already spoke about a big swearing. We had a big swearing ban discussion, I think,
Yeah,
previously,
exactly.
and we spoke all about it. So it's just a matter of getting some of these things fine tuned and making sure it makes sense. I feel at this point, they've gone probably overboard with how they've taken this in the first
Yeah,
place and the kind of penalties they're enforced.
yeah,
So I think that now they probably, I think MBS is kind of swallowing his pride and mellowing down some of these things, which absolutely is a must because drivers should be allowed to talk what they want on
yeah.
the racetrack in a race where there's a lot of temperaments, where there's a lot of
Yeah,
expectations
and you
of them.
want to see the genuine emotions of a driver,
You
right?
want to
That's why
see
you
their
tune into the
emotions. I
sport.
mean, we already spoke about how you can control it based on
Yeah.
kids watching or younger generation watching in terms of
Yeah, I mean, the broadcast already beeps all of
yeah,
that. That's why there's a delay
exactly.
in radio. It comes
Exactly.
multiple minutes later.
Yeah. So you're already getting in control to the podcast. So I don't understand why you can't, do
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, anyways, so guys, yeah, if you're interested on more discussion about this, the swearing controversy, um, make sure to, there will be a link in the description for the previous pod episode where we covered this. And I think Aniket, we should also make you know a separate video where we include today's discussion and the previous discussion next to each
Yeah.
other to kind of give
Yeah.
a overview on what this pod thinks about the swearing controversy.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this weekend. Yeah, we do know Red Bull is supposedly brought a big side pod upgrade, so we'll see
They
how
did.
that goes.
Yep.
I mean, nothing much in free practice, but they're probably still getting data and trying to adjust the setup so far.
Mm. Yep.
But yeah, Aniket, drivers are also already speaking out. Um, yeah, I'm interested. They're calling on F1 to preserve its history because I think this year is probably the last year for Imola,
Imola. Yeah.
right? And then we probably see Barcelona replaced by the street circuit, Madrid,
Yeah.
which we talked about in I think a couple of episodes ago, and also Spa is going to be every other year from 2027. I think Zandvoort is ending next year, their contract. So yeah, I think Oscar Piastri was talking about that. I mean, he was saying that yes, we know that you can't have every race from every country on the calendar, but also talking about that F1 should preserve its history, and even George Russell, the president of the Grand Prix Drivers Association, the PowerPoint man, also spoke out about this, saying
Yeah.
that F1 needs more classic circuits. Even Max Verstappen kind of chimed in, maybe the first time that he agreed with George Russell. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think the F1? Man, I hope we don't see some ridiculous calendar 5 years down
Yeah.
the line where it's like
I think
18 street circuits and 6 classic tracks.
I think it's the money that is bringing in every business right
Yeah,
now, right? So you're seeing it with these American tracks. You're seeing it with these Middle Eastern tracks as well.
yeah,
Singapore is also one of the highest paying circuits on the
right.
calendar. So unfortunately, it is what's driving F1 nowadays, and you're seeing all
Mm.
these legendary tracks. Unfortunately, we are not seeing any actual on-track racing on these tracks like we didn't see much in Japan. But we still like to see them, in the racing calendar because of the history they've got associated to
Yeah,
them.
I mean, for that, we need
So
better cars. Our
we
cars,
do.
like, we made progress in 2022, and I think 3 years later, everything has been undone. The cars are so hard to follow again.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't. 2026 is a big unknown right now because we don't know
Yeah,
how everything will really be looking like in that at that time. But when you come back to the tracks, I think it's just what the FIA, is doing what it needs to do in terms of keeping F1 growing and being more popular throughout the world. So it's just need a lot of money, and money is driving everything these days in F1. So whoever is willing to pay, FIA is giving them a long term contract. What we just saw one race got like a 20-year contract or something. Was it Miami? Or I don't remember.
Miami 2041 or some stupid year
Yeah.
like that. 2047,
So
I think.
you can imagine the kind of money they're generating
Yeah,
to F1. So in that sense, Imola might not be doing pretty well. It's it's not the best track for overtaking as well. So I would think that it's
Yeah,
just
but with
proper
modern day
track.
cars, which circuit is good for overtaking, right?
Unless it's like a super wide circuit or something like that,
Yeah.
which is like, I mean, unless you have Italy and Belgium every other race, then probably you'll have these cars overtake each other.
And even
But
that just because of very generous DRS zones. Otherwise, you won't have overtaking there either with these cars.
exactly. So yeah, it'll be sad to see some of these tracks go, but it is what the FIA needs to do to keep F1, to keep the money coming into F1
Yeah.
and keep the tracks which generate more revenue on the calendar. So Imola obviously was not there for a while, and then it came back
Came out
during the
in the
COVID
COVID
years,
pandemic. Yeah.
and again was what it kept getting like a 1 year contract or
Right.
something every year, and unfortunately it's not renewed, right, for 2026 onwards.
So far, no, it's not
Okay.
renewed yet. I think reports say that talks are ongoing or whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah, so far, yeah, there's no news of Imola
Yeah.
being renewed for next year.
I would love Catalonia to be there on the calendar, but again, like less overtaking there, and
Yeah.
you know, it's been there for a long time now. So I feel that F1 is looking to for they tried a few tracks in Spain now. They had the Valencia street circuit, which didn't work. Catalonia has been there on the calendar for a while, so now they're probably going to try something different with Madrid. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I think probably the most. I think in recent years, the newest street circuit that has been the most exciting is probably Vegas, which kind of defied
Mhm.
expectations. Vegas has thrown up
Yeah.
very good races every year. I guess it's partly because it's at night when it's so cold and it completely kills the tires. But yeah, you need something like that, right? You need some kind of leveler to
You do.
get some action. Otherwise, you just see whichever team wins the regulations run away in every race. Like
Yep.
McLaren this year, right? Last year it was close because there's so much development going on. But the year before, he saw the 2 years before that, he saw Red Bull running away.
Mm.
And the year before that, he saw just Max and Lewis running away.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, two different cars, but basically just two drivers, and then everybody is like 45 seconds behind you.
Mm.
Remember that season, Aniket? It will be like Max and Lewis, or Lewis and Max, and P3 is like
Yeah,
45
yeah,
seconds behind.
yeah. Yep.
uh, yeah. Anyways, I guess that's it for the pod today, folks. Uh, do make sure to subscribe, tell your friends, and Imola is at a more reasonable time, so maybe we'll try to get you some instant reactions. But yeah, stay tuned for full coverage. We'll do Imola review next week as well, and then we have Monaco and Spain after that. So we're going to be a very exciting triple header.
Yep, stay tuned on this channel. Stay tuned for on the Apex on all our platforms, be it video or
Yeah.
audio, and we'll keep you up to date, up to speed with the world of F1, especially in this
Yeah.
busy period.
Oh yeah, one more thing. This weekend we have the new C6 tires from Pirelli, so hopefully, the softer tires give us some more action. Uh,
Or more
yeah,
pit
Pirelli
stops.
is going one step softer. The C6 tire is new for this season, so we'll see how that goes.
Ironically, it might have be a one-stop race.
Yeah, probably they'll do like medium hard and just end the race.
Drivers are like conserving their tires, and drivers are like
Yeah.
super conservative, and like ends up being a one-stop.
Yep. Yep. Anyways, that's it for us, folks. We'll see you after Imola, and
Yep.
enjoy the race.